guitarist will sound better if his guitar is in tune, but a good guitarist is going to sound bad if his guitar is out of tune. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Boise Rock School. My name is Seth. Today we're going to be talking about tuning your guitar, which is extremely important, just like what that quote was saying. Always have your guitar in tune because you're going to sound so much better. So, a couple things to remember just right off the bat before you start tuning your guitar. One is the musical alphabet. Remember, the musical alphabet is a little bit different. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then restarts at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. All right, so that's really important to remember. Another thing is to remember a tuner. So this is called a snark tuner. All it does is it clips on to the head of your guitar, and from then you can tune each string. So all I'm going to do is just clip it on right here, make sure it's nice and secure, and then it's good to go, and it'll read or it'll listen to the strings and you can tune from there. So just talk about one more thing about the musical alphabet. If I'm trying to tune, say, my first string, which is an E string, and it says a D, for example. So we know that in our musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E. So D comes before E. You're going to have to bump that up to E to make sure it's right on E. All right, so always making sure that your tuner is saying the right letter of the string that you're wanting to tune. If it says a D sharp, and there's a little sharp sign, or like a B flat, you also have to recognize those, and you have to either go up or down accordingly and make sure it's on the note that you want it to tune to. So let's try this. So I'm going to play my first string. I'm going to tune my first string. All right, and it's registering right now as an F. I'm going to rotate that tuner. Notice when I pluck the string, I'm not plucking it really, really hard. It will register it even just at a soft pluck, all right? So it says an F right now. So if we're thinking of our musical alphabet, F is above E, so I'm gonna have to go down. So I'm gonna go to my tuning peg, I'm gonna pluck the string with my hand on the peg and turn it down. And I'm looking for the tuner to be right in the middle with it registering as an E. So I'm gonna adjust it with little tiny movements or bigger movements if that's what it needs to be, and so I can get it right to there. It's right in the middle, registering as an E. And I'm kind of just consistently plucking the string, just making sure that that note is always ringing. It's not, all right, that's not an effective way to tune. Just nice and gentle, let it ring out. So I'm going to move on to the next string, which should be your A string. Now this one, if you look at the tuner, it is an A, it's registering as an A, but it's a little flat, what we call. So it only needs to come up just a little bit. So I'm going to look at it, and you can hear the sound in the amp coming up a little bit, little by little. I'm going to get it right in the middle, right where that green is showing, and that A is in tune. Switch to my next string, which is my D string. Now I plug my D string, and that one is fine. Alright, so sometimes your strings are going to be fine. Maybe it needs just a little tiny bit up, and that's all it takes sometimes. It's just a small, minute adjustment. Move on to my next string, which is G string. Now this one is a little sharp. So this is a little bit above the note. It needs to come down. So I'm gonna, you can hear it on the amp come down. Listen to that again. You can hear the tone go down and right in the middle. Move on to my next string, which is a B. Right now, it's registering as a C. So, if we look at our musical alphabet, A, B, C. That's above the note, so we need to come down. And that took a pretty big move at first because there's a whole note above it. So sometimes you have to move the tuning peg in bigger increments and sometimes in smaller increments. Right in the middle. And our last one, right now it's registering as a D sharp. So if you think of the music alphabet, D is below E. Sharp means it's a little bit closer to E, but it's still too far below. So we need to come up a little bit more. And keep going. Want to get it right in the middle. And there we go, it's right in the middle. Once you have your strings tuned, it should sound really nice. Something that's really important to remember is you should always tune your guitar every time you pick it up. It doesn't matter if you played an hour earlier and tuned it, and then you're playing again, you should still tune it because sometimes even little changes in the weather, or maybe you put it down and it messed up a tuning peg, something might have changed. So always tune your guitar whenever you pick it up, especially before a performance. Always tune before a performance, and you're just gonna sound a lot better.